I was literally taken out of this universe and placed at the gorgeous feet of God. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how that happened to me, and also what you can do to find her for yourself. I was sitting there, and like in my head, I heard, sit up. And so I sat up, and then I heard, silence your mind and be very still, like a stone. And I did. And then all of a sudden, I was not in this universe anymore. By God, I was ripped out, my soul was ripped out of this universe and put where God is. And I was sitting, I didn't have a body, and I could see, but I couldn't like hear or smell or taste or touch, but I could see. And I was, what struck me first was this giant square stone that she was sitting on. It was humongous. It was so far away, but it was so big it was out of my view, and her feet were sitting like she was sitting on it, but only I could see just her below her knees and her feet. And she had flowers around her, like little white flowers around her feet, but it wasn't like grass. It was like trees. Like she was so far away from me, and I could see all the rolling hills and mountains, like right next to where the giant perfect square stone was. And she was sitting there, and she was olive green, like a light olive green color, and she had this beautiful anklets on that had these beautiful blue sapphire gems hanging from them. And she moved. Her feet repositioned themselves, like she adjusted herself to look down at me. And she said, in my head, in my soul, she said, feel my bliss. And all of a sudden, I was struck with the most bliss in my soul that I could even possibly imagine. And I started dragging towards her, like I was like being pulled towards her, getting closer and closer. And as I got closer, the bliss got stronger and stronger, and I could feel it, like, and it hurt. That's the only way I could explain it. It was like so powerful, so intense, that it was almost painful. Like, and I got dragged closer and closer, and boom, I was back in my body, and I was like, I know I was there. I wasn't asleep. I wasn't dreaming. I wasn't having a vision. I was there. The next day, I had gone to sleep that night, and I was just like so moved by the experience. And I woke up in the morning, and I had to go meditate. So I went and I started chanting. And during meditation, sometimes you'll have visions. Like it's like a screen is there. Like you can sense that your body is there, and you're feeling everything, and you're hearing yourself chanting, but you're having some kind of like experience play on a screen in front of you. And what I was seeing was, I was seeing God, but I could see her whole body, and she was shadowed, like she was like a shadow. She wasn't like a physical thing. Like they say you can't see God, like all of God, because like she's in a different universe. So like it's not even possible to like see all of her. So what I was seeing was like her shadow, but she was meditating, and she was like this far above that stone bench that I was seeing. I was seeing her in the same place, but she was meditating, and her left hand was pointing up, and there was this dot of light that was above the point of her finger, like it was above. And then I started like zooming in on that, like I was being pulled towards that dot of light, and I got closer and closer and closer and closer. And as I got really, really close to it, I could see that dot, okay, so that dot was in her aura. Like it was outside of her body, and her whole body was just covered in this real bright aura. And that dot was, I got closer and closer to it, and was surrounded by all these dots of light. So I was focused on this one dot, but I could see it was like they were all perfectly aligned, and they were all going into God. And every single dot was all perfect. It was like exact perfectness. And I got closer and closer, and then I could see that dot was our universe. That's where she pulled me out of. So like, she grabbed me out of that dot and set me in front of her in that experience that I had. And all of those dots are universes that she's paying attention to through consciousness. She's paying attention to every single soul in every single universe. It's like, it was so amazing to see like what she's doing. I was just so blown away. And I was like, wow. And so I came inside the house and I explained to my wife what I saw, and I was like, it looked like the dots weren't going anywhere. And then like that was part of the explanation that like I explained. And then like later that night I was meditating again, and I had the exact same vision, but God was like, no, they're moving. Like, and the further away that dot gets away from God, the universe loses its energy. It's really important to note here, not to look at this like some kind of religious experience or, you know, some kind of Sunday school, okay? Take a scientific approach to this. Do the work, expect results, get results, okay? So, like when you listen to Swami, to any of the gurus, the Swamis, don't judge them like, oh, they're giving me religious information, or, you know, think of what they're telling you as science. Like, you wouldn't go to Harvard University and be like, this teacher is going to give me crap information, and whatever he says is bunk, and I'm not going to listen to anything that he says the whole time I'm in class. That would be a waste of your time, money, experience, your life. So if you're going to put time and effort into this, listen to these Swamis like they're going to tell you information that's worth your time. And I'm telling you from a personal experience, it is worth your time. Because if you see God for yourself, you will realize that it was worth your time. Let me tell you. So, I'm going to give you a little step-by-step of kind of like what you could do, just kind of like to help you see what direction to go. And, you know, maybe you do it a different way, but at least you have somewhere to start. So like I said, start with Sadhguru, Maharishi Mahesh, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar while you're exercising. See if you can start with one of, I'm going to link Om and Om Namah Shivaya in the description, so you can listen to them and maybe start chanting one of those a day. Start with 15 minutes, work your way up, do it every day, work your way up to an hour. It'll focus your mind, and then start noticing results. Like, you'll notice you'll probably want to do, you know, worldly things a little less. You'll notice that, you know, some of your emotions go down a little bit, that you're easily focused on things. You'll notice changes. So stick with it, you know, a lessening attachment to the world, you know, to everything. Some things are going to be specific to you, you know, notice them, notice that you're making the right decisions. Notice that these things are happening for a reason, and keep the searching attitude. You know, this is the first step. You know, exercise for 45 minutes a day to an hour. Listen to one of the starter, you know, videos, and then start chanting. And this is going to start building up this attitude in you, like this searching attitude. And you want to keep that up. Keep searching. Don't let that stop. So step 2, you're going to want to switch to, when you finally realize what Sadhguru is saying, you're going to feel like you need more. When you feel like you need more, switch to Swami Sarvapriyananda. Start hearing the consciousness stuff. And you're going to want to start dropping some of your other activities, some of the things that are going on, like maybe you go out into the world a lot, or stuff you're watching at home. You'll notice that you don't need that stuff as much anymore. So add more of these videos to your time. So the time that you're getting rid of this other stuff, listen to more Swami Sarvapriyananda, and you're gonna feel like you need it. You might feel in yourself that you need to hear more of it. So stick with it. Continue chanting. Listen to Swami Sarvapriyananda and hear the consciousness message. Really beat it into yourself. And when you have the realization that you are consciousness, then keep listening to it for a while until it's just like so beat into your head that it's just like, it's not going away. You get it. You might notice that you're the one consciousness. You might have this experience that you are that one consciousness. I did. Like I had this, like it wasn't like a feeling. It was like a reality. Like, oh, whoa. And you might start feeling your soul. Like that's really important. So notice all of these things, and even a deeper longing for God. Like you're gonna notice. So now that you've been chanting and listening to Sarvapriyananda for a while, then you're gonna, after you've had this realization of what consciousness is, then you might be ready for more, right? So keep that searching attitude. And now it might be time for you to have some bhakti in your life, okay? So remember that everything that you're doing is for God. And everything that you do and have done is for God. And I don't remember who said this, but God, like you may walk in on like your grandma weaving like this beautiful tapestry that when you walk in, you can see the back of it and it looks like nothing. And you're like, what are you wasting your time doing that for? And then you walk around the other side and you see this amazing picture that she's created that's complete except for one last stitch, right? Well, you might be in that phase yourself. Like you may not realize that all you can see is this awful life that, is the other side of the tapestry. But what God really has in store for you is this beautiful thing that you don't even know is there until you try. So continue with everything from step 2. Keep the chanting going. And now, as you're listening to Swami Makundananda, after you've had the realization that you are this one consciousness, listen to Makundananda with the same openness and searching attitude that you were already, and now start adding like this period of deep silence to after your chanting. Like take some time, sit still, allow the universe to flow through you, allow God to flow through you. Create an area, a meditation area, where you can feel the love of God, where you can start feeling the bliss, because really that's the thing that led to this whole event, was being able to open myself up to God's bliss. Like that's how important it is. Like God's bliss is going to change your life. God's bliss is going to allow you to have these kind of events happen. So I think another important step to meditation is learning how to raise your Kundalini. There's some videos out there of how to do it, but what I noticed was while I was meditating, while I was chanting, I started to be able to feel kind of like my chakras. So I watched some Swami videos. I'll see if I can find what I watched and link it in the video. how to focus on each individual chakra. And what I would do was, while I was chanting, like it really, like you feel vibrations going through your body. So I would focus on the lowest one, and then the next, and the next, and next, and I would raise it all the way up to here. And if you understand what they are and how to move it, like, I feel like it's probably one of the more important things that you need to do while meditating is continue. Take the time to, while you're chanting, to raise where your energy level is in your body. So your lower chakras, those deal with the world. And your higher chakras deal with like more subtle elements. And if you can raise it, then you're going to notice that during your meditation, you're on a higher level. And it's just, you did it to yourself. It's going to be amazing. So, like I said, create your own temple. Create some kind of short ceremony for yourself before the meditation. Try and create some love within yourself. Fall in love with God. Notice results. Keep searching. Like, never feel like you're perfect. Feel like, you have to just keep going. Just keep trying. And hopefully with all those efforts that you put into it and some time, this took me 5 years. This was five years of my life. It started in 2019 where I started doing all this, and it happened in March of 2024, and for it to happen, it was like a ramping up process. It started small, and my efforts started small, and then over the course of the 5 years, my efforts grew because I was so drawn to this, to God, and I didn't know that I was searching for God. I didn't know, but that's what it was. So hopefully with effort, and really the only thing that got me there was God's grace. So with her grace and your effort, I hope that you can see her too. This is my point about telling you about my childhood, is that in my life that I made a lot of mistakes, and I had a really rough childhood, and a lot of you have, all of you have made a lot of mistakes and had a really rough childhood. But that isn't going to hold you back from finding God. The only thing that's going to hold you back from finding God is not putting in the effort, not saying that it's possible, because it's possible. And if you try, I guarantee you're going to find her. I guarantee you, because she's looking for you. She's waiting for you to find her. All you have to do is try. And your mistakes are not going to hold you back. Please like and share this video. We want to get everybody on this planet to hear this video, and people in the future, let's get billions of people to hear this message, because it's really that important for you, for everyone. The more people hear this, the more people realize that they can do it too. Like this, I didn't do this in church. I did this at home. I didn't have to go anywhere to do this. And neither do you. You don't have to go to church to do it. It's better for you to do this by yourself, alone. Take time to do this alone with God. Make time for her, and she will make time for you. Thank you for listening. God's waiting for you.